Martha.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Over to you, Teacher Martha.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Theo. Can we kindly run to the first page?
Yeah.
Okay, so today we'll be looking at topic 8, and we are looking at the general and angle properties of geometric figures. And according to that illustration, you can see the different geometric figures we are going to be interacting with in accordance to those angle properties. So in this topic, you're expected to know the following. We have the line segment, the transversal, and then the parallel. I'm sure we've come in contact with those words, and we shall be looking at them in detail as we proceed. So by the end of this topic, you should be able to identify the different angles. You should be able to solve problems involving angles on a straight line, angles on transversal and parallel lines. And you should be able to state and use those angle properties of polygons in solving problems. You should take note of that as we go through this topic. So last week, we looked at bearing and we looked at the different angle turns. Can I have 3 girls to remind us the different turns we looked at generally? The complete turn or the full turn, and then the half turn, and then the quarter turn. Mr. Theo, maybe you can help me select some of the girls to tell us.
Okay. Even Joseph is in class. I see one hand up. Can we hear from Rukia? Yes, Rukia.
Teacher, a complete turn is made up of 360, and a half turn is made up of 180, and then a quarter turn is made up of 90 degrees.
Okay, thank you so much, Shugi. I hope everyone agrees with that. So we studied, in this topic, you will study the angles on a straight line, on parallel lines, and the angle properties. And with this knowledge, you'll be able to solve the problems related with angle properties. So we are going to be able to apply the knowledge we got from the full turn, half turn, and then the quarter turns. So looking at, let me have one of the girls tell us, when we are turning from north to south in the clockwise direction, what angle do we expect to obtain? When we are turning from the north to the south, which angle do we expect to obtain?
I see someone's up. Can we hear from Vanessa at Kunda?
You turn 180 degrees.
Okay, very good, thank you. And then when we are turning from the northeast to the southeast in the anti-clockwise direction, which angle do we expect to obtain? Northeast to southeast, anti-clockwise.
I see Chirabo Hope Eunice. It's 1K. Eunice, give us the answer. Eunice?
You get 180 degrees.
Is that true?
Maybe you can
May I please repeat the question?
rephrase the question, Teacher Martha.
Okay, I was asking, when we are turning from the northeast to the southeast anti-clockwise, which angle do we expect to obtain?
Okay, I see many hands up. Can we hear from Charity?
When we are turning anti-clockwise from northeast to southeast, you turn an angle of 270 degrees. And then when we are turning clockwise, we turn.
Okay, that is good, thank you. So you realize that we've been given those few points on the screen. We have when you're turning from the north to the south, you're expected to obtain an angle of 180 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise. And then turning from northeast to southeast, we have 90 degrees clockwise or 270 degrees anti-clockwise. I think we looked at this basically when we were looking at the previous topic. Then turning clockwise from east to east, we have 45 degrees or 315 degrees anti-clockwise. So depending on the direction you're taking, you'll be able to obtain those angles. So what angle do you think you will turn through if you turn from northeast to northwest anti-clockwise? What angle do we expect to obtain if we turn from northeast to northwest anti-clockwise?
We have Vanessa.
Maybe you can.
Yes,
Okay.
we have Vanessa.
It is 90 degrees.
Very
Teacher
good.
Martha,
Thank you, Vanessa. Yes.
maybe seems some of them are just reading the solution for me. Maybe you should be picking different directions. I
Okay.
usually get hints from their runners guides. So it's more like asking them to read from one end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Thank you, Mr. Theo. Can we have someone tell us the angle we shall turn through from southeast to northwest clockwise?
Okay, we have Cynthia. Maybe Cynthia can work out that.
Okay, Cynthia.
We'll turn through 180 degrees.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. Mr. Theo, I request if you can display your screen and show us that, because someone in the chat is posting, they didn't understand the last lesson. Maybe we can use that illustration to pan a bit through last lesson's illustration.
Okay. Mr. Kijambu, you can try to mute those ones who are trying to make noise for us.
Yes, please.
So, Martha, are you saying something of this kind? Or we don't need the triangle? But anyway, we need, need a circle since we are making turns. Okay?
Okay.
So, what is the person's, what's the student's question?
They were asking how we obtain those different turns of bearings. So we're looking at the question when you turn through southeast to northwest clockwise.
So maybe if we first put those northeast to the southeast, and this is southwest. Joseph, you can monitor what the girls are saying in the chat. I'm not.
All right, please.
So last time we told the girls that when you move around the circle, you turn through 360. And we looked at what these other angles are. If, for example, I turn through half of the circle, when you turn through half, you turn through 180, and if you turn through a quarter is getting a quarter of the circle, which is that 90. Okay, and half of a quarter, which is usually, for example, if I take half of that quarter of northeast, it is it corresponds to 45 degrees. Okay, so this would be 45. And it will be 45. So Martha, I don't know what the student was asking about. Was it
okay,
turning?
so Maybe Mr. Theo, you can help illustrate for her.
Maybe before we proceed, I see Mulungi's hand is up. Maybe she has something to say.
Yes, Specia. Specia. Yes. Specia, you have a question? Okay.
I don't have a question. I forgot to know.
It seems it went up accidentally. Okay, Martha, what was the question? Which turn was confusing the girls?
Maybe you should illustrate for her how we turn from northeast to southwest.
To southeast, southwest.
Southwest, from southeast to northwest, sorry.
Southeast to northwest, eh?
West, clockwise, yes.
Okay, clockwise, they told you to follow what that arm of the does, it moves in that direction. So when you're moving from southeast, you're starting at that point, and then you're moving like that up to there. Okay? You can see that it's more of a straight line there. And angles on a straight line add up to 180. However, you can add these segments. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each segment is 45 degrees. Okay, so you can get 45 times 4, which is, it takes you to 180 STA. So Martha, I don't know if that helps.
Okay, that is very good. At least it brings out the picture. So we know that angles on a straight line, as Mr. Theo has said, add up to 180, or you can as well use the segments after knowing that it is 45 degrees.
Martha, someone is asking in the chat that is it a must to draw the circle when making turns? No, if you know what you are doing, you don't need to draw the circle. The circle is basically an aiding tool to help you get to the answers accurately. Okay, so you can always have those circles just to guide you. Okay, Misha, it's better. Okay. Can we move on? Martha?
Okay, I think we can proceed.
Yes, so we go back to the document?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Teacher Martha and Teacher Theo.
Yes, please.
Yes,
I have a few concerns from the girls, but I think we shall have some time towards the end. Some girls are asking about numbers, or the other exercise we gave. I think it was the last one for topic 7 about scale diagram. I think we shall spare some time and we stress that. All right.
Yeah, we can use the last 10 minutes maybe to go through, guide them on what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
So, yes, Martha, over to you. I'm seeing Narure, Rukia. Narure, you have a question? Okay.
Teacher, yes, I do have a question. And
Yes.
my question is, in the previous, it's okay, you can just continue, but you didn't like explain how they construct 400, and in the textbook there is 400.
Rukia, it was not 400, it was 40 degrees. That was a typing error. It was supposed to be 40.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
I hope that's clear. You're welcome. Martha, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Theo. So we are going to look at how we can identify the different angles. And since we are not at school, I'm not sure, Mr. Theo, if we can use the imaginative bit of it, or they can use the objects at home to help us identify which ones make the angle 90, 180, and 360.
Maybe we can hear from the girls. They could be having some objects at home that can fairly give us those angles. Can hear from them? They know what an angle of 90 is. They know what an angle of 180 is, and then 360. I think they can give us some of everyday, items that they could be.
Okay, we have a number of hands, but let's hear from Kwagala. Please unmute.
Teacher, the corners of a book or of like a wall in the house make an angle of 90 degrees.
Okay, thank you. Then Gladys. Gladys, unmute.
Teacher, a table, the corners of a table, they make 90 degrees.
Okay, let's have some other angles besides 90. Charity, what do you have to say? Charity, unmute.
Even think an orange, we cut it in half.
Teacher, like a chair for the dining table can 90 degrees. Like a chair, like for the dining table, can make 90 degrees. Like that part where you lean against and the part where you sit, 90 degrees. Then also a book that is open and like you have divided it equal and it's open can make 180 degrees. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Maybe let's have like two more. Helen, please unmute.
Teacher, can you say an arm bent towards the head makes 60 degrees, 115 degrees?
Although it might not be exact unless when you measure it, but thank you for that. Let's hear from Katonguli.
A plate is round, so it makes 360 degrees.
Okay. So if you move, describing its circumference, then you make 360 degrees. Thank you.
Yes.
And then lastly, let's have Rukia.
Teacher, if you cut an orange into two, you get 180 degrees.
Okay, thank you very much. Teacher Martha, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, girls. Those were good ideas. Okay, so we can proceed. So most of those angles, realize that we can obtain them by measuring them on a protractor. And then we are given a note down there. The angle around a circle is 360, and we've been looking at that even in the previous lessons, whereby around the angle around a circle, that is a complete turn, which gives us 360. And then the angle around a point on a line, that is 180, and we've seen that as well. Then we also have the right angle, which is 90 degrees. I'll request us to try out those examples, that example in our books, and we get the different answers from the different girls. The question is saying for each of the following angles, first estimate and then measure the angle to see how good your estimate was.
I think Teacher Martha, by just looking at the shapes, I'm sure they can easily estimate what angles. Maybe we can do it quicker and we save the day, but they have to do this in their books at the end of the day. Okay, girls, when you look at this, what angles come in your mind? I can see some hands are already up. Nachi, good day. Gladys. Gladys, what?
It's 90 degrees.
A is 90 degrees. Yes, Jemai, say, what do you get for B?
B is 45 degrees.
B is 45. Can I hear from Marjorie Namagembe? C, what angle do you think that could be? Marjorie? Seems that one can't get through. Can I hear from our D4? Patsy?
Yeah, I got 115.
Got 115. How did you arrive at that angle, our D4?
I used a protractor.
Use the protractor. So you estimated it to be 115.
No, at first I estimated it to be 100. But then I measured it to be 115.
15. Okay.
Yes.
Can I hear from Namagembe Marjorie again? D? Namagembe? Seems Namagembe can't get through. Okay, can I hear from Numbers Patricia? Pat D? Numbers?
I got 120.
You got 120. Yeah, all those are good estimates. However, we encourage you to work out through these numbers and you put the right angles. Okay, Teacher Martha, I'm thinking we need to leave this exercise for the girls to do.
No disturbance.
Yes.
Yeah, unless if you're having questions, we can try to guide, but I'm thinking let's have them try out the questions. Maybe in the next session, if there are any challenges they could have met along the way, we'll try to attend to them, because really this is some work they have done in their primaries. I guess in the interest of time, I'll ask the girls to do this work. Okay?
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
Mr. T.
Let's move on to subtopic 8.2.
Okay.
Okay, you can go on. I think
there are no questions, Mr. Theo.
Marjorie's hand is up. I don't know. She seems not to get through when we open her mic. Namagem.
It's down.
Down, My end is still up. Okay, let's move on then.
Okay. So we are looking at subtopic 2.8.2, and we are looking at angles on a line and angles at a point. So we said angles on a line add up to 180 degrees. And angles at a point add up to 360 degrees. You should always remember that as we are dealing with the angles.
Okay. Martha?
So, yes, Mr. T.
Yes, go on.
Yes.
Yes, you can go on.
In this case, we are going to be identifying angles. So we are going to draw two intersecting lines and use your mathematical instruments to measure the angles formed at the intersecting point. How many angles by estimation do we expect to form at that point of intersection? Maybe we can have one of the girls tell us how many angles they expect to be formed at that point of intersection.
Can you hear from our D4?
60 degrees.
How many angles? Not which
our D4, how many angles, not the total sum? Our D4? Okay, can we hear from Ruiz Kwagara? Ruiz?
I think the angles will be 6.
There will be 6 angles.
Is that true?
Can we hear from Erio, Esther? Erio, Esther, let's get many views. Maybe we can reach a conclusion.
Teacher, I think it's 4.
It's 4.
Yes.
But
teacher,
can we
may I
have?
ask?
Yes. Okay. If you have a question, you raise up your hand and we'll pick you. Can we hear from Narure? Anna? You have a different view?
I think it's 4.
You think it's 4?
Yes, okay. I think it's 4 or 2.
You think it's 4 or 2? Can you decide?
Okay, 4.
4. You've settled to 4.
Yes.
Teacher Martha, I don't know if you want me to do for you something here. I'm on the whiteboard.
Yes, kindly show us an illustration of those intersecting.
They have said that 2 lines are intersecting. They didn't specify. They just told us they're intersecting. So assuming these lines are intersecting like this. Just an assumption because there is no further information that I've given you. So if 2 lines are intersecting, you'd expect this angle, you expect that angle, and then this angle. So we expect 4 angles, okay? And of course, when you sum up these angles, they should add up to 300 because the circle. And of course, if you add up angles on a straight line, they should add up to 180. Okay, so those are key important.
The border coming for this one. Use the nail plate.
Joseph, you can try to mute them. So that is what they want you to demonstrate, but they have not given you further information as to how you draw those lines. You just draw and then you draw abruptly and then just measure. So we don't expect you to have the same angles because actions that you just draw to intersecting lines. Depending on how you draw them, you come up with different angles. Okay.
Teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
So does it mean that the intersecting lines, do they like have to like cross each other, or like do they just like touch? Like one line could just touch the other and that's intersecting.
Ideally, they should be crossing. Okay, because if they're meeting at a point, if they're intersecting at a point, the idea would be that they cross. Okay, though I don't know if my colleagues have something to add on that.
Basically, I think they're supposed to be meeting at a given point. And I think you can draw them in different directions. You can even draw perpendicular lines as long as they're crossing each other. So it depends as long as you have a point of intersection with those 2 lines.
Okay. Maybe we can look at it from there. I think someone who talked of two angles. Maybe I think what she meant was that you could be having that line and maybe another one which is coming like that. I don't know. Maybe that's what that girl wanted us to arrive at.
Oh yeah.
So that you're having this angle and the other outer angle. Okay. Yeah, but the ideal would be these ones which are crossing. So I guess we have 2 options.
Yes.
Yes, because teacher Thief and
Yes,
teacher Matt, if the question was specific onto drawing, say intersecting lines, bisecting each other, then would have only one case, that like the one you drew earlier. But if the question is open onto lines just meeting or intersecting, then because to intersect is to meet, so they can meet and cross each other, or they can just meet at a point. which is your case too? So I think for this case, we have like two options in that case.
Okay, I can see someone's up. Can we hear from Nasoro, Bethel? Nasoro?
Teacher, it is someone's hand.
Yes. Teacher, when you're measuring these angles, do you also add the sum of the angles? Like you've measured on that one that looks like an X, you've measured 4 angles, but then do you also add 360 degrees as an angle also formed?
No, the question I think was clear. They said draw two intersecting lines, then they want you to use your mathematical set to measure. They want you to pick a protractor and then you measure. Okay? But in the first question, they're saying how many angles have been formed at the point of intersection. And we've seen that there are two possibilities. You could be having lines crossing, okay? You could be having two lines meeting at a point. Okay. So perhaps that's why they are saying you compare your work with your friends, because there is a possibility that you will come up with different options. Okay. Can we hear from these girls, maybe? Charity, can we hear from you? Kauga?
Excuse me, teacher. I wanted to ask a question, but I don't know if it is. So I wanted to ask a question. Excuse me, teacher. I was asking a question, but I don't know if it is sensible. Okay, like are intersecting lines supposed to be 2 only?
Intersecting lines, I think they're supposed to be 2, because if there are more than 3, then I think the minimum is really 2. I don't see a possibility where you're having. Of course, you can have other lines crossing, but ideally, what the question wanted you to do was to have 2 lines intersecting, because they are trying to help us understand the principles of the angles that do line on those lines when they meet. They are trying to show us how we can get these angles and how those angles can sum up maybe to 180 and maybe to 360. So it's a principle they are trying to drive home, and we are using 2 lines. I don't know if it helps.
Thank you.
Mirembe, Joy? Joy?
Yes, it does.
Okay, can we hear from Narore, Anna?
Sorry, teacher, I left my hand up.
Okay, can we hear from Gabriela, Anna, Arininze? Joseph, check the chat.
Teacher, are the intersecting lines supposed to like cross each other at a certain point? Are they supposed to cross each other at a certain point?
Yeah, exactly. They're supposed to meet at a point. Okay, and that's why.
Sorry. Equal. Are they supposed to keep parts, or just being point of the line?
I don't think I've got you, but
are they supposed to?
Yes.
Okay, like for example, you draw a line and then intersect it at any point, or it's supposed to be in the middle?
No, it can be at any point. Teacher Joseph has just told us that we are not given further instructions on what to do with the lines. They just told us to just draw 2 lines. So it can be anywhere. Okay? And
so it means you get different angles.
Yeah, you'll get different angles, definitely, depending on how you draw. Okay? Can I hear from Mirembe? Joy? Joy? Okay, seems I can't get Joy. Can I hear from Namagembe, Marjorie? Namagembe? I guess Namagembe has a challenge. Our default?
Yes, teacher. I wanted to ask. In that angle you drew it red, that first
when you're
one.
using the protractor. Yes, teacher, I'm asking. I wanted to ask that when you use them in the protractor.
Marjorie, can you ask again our default first weight? Marjorie? Marjorie, can you ask your question, please?
Teacher.
Yes. Are you asking how we can measure the angles? How we can use the protractor?
That when you're using the protractor, do you have
Yes.
to use the inner scale or the outer scale, or we can use both? Teacher, I'm asking. I say that when you're using the protractor, are you supposed to use the inner scale or the outer scale? No, can you use both the inner scale or the outer scale using the protractor?
I guess the inner scale would be appropriate because assuming I'm measuring this angle, okay? Assuming I'm measuring that angle, ideally I would.
I said that you're supposed to use the inner or the outer scale or both.
Marjorie, you can use the inner circle. I mean the inner scale. Marjorie, you can use the inner scale, but you need to press it well. Okay?
Mr. Thief.
Yes, Joseph.
Maybe to stress this, you can use the inner, okay? You can use the inner scale if you are to measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction. I don't know whether I make sense. Teacher Theo, I request you to come to this diagram you drew, the second one. Eh?
This one?
Yes. Now from the lower line. Eh? Yes. Going upwards from this lower. Line? Yes. Going moving this? Anti-clockwise. Yes. In that case, you can use the inner scale. Okay. Because you'll be having your 0 on the lower line, then moving up to see where the other line is stretching. But if say you're measuring now in clockwise direction, yes. Now if say you had now to measure from this upper one, yes, in clockwise direction, then you would use the outer scale.
Okay, thank you, Joe. But I think it's easier to use the inner scale. You just need to know how to press it. Eh?
Yes.
They take us to the same conclusion, really.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Teacher, can I now ask my question?
Yes, our default. Can you now ask?
Teacher, for that angle you drew in red, like the first one at the left side. Yes. Teacher, is the total 360 degrees?
The total angle?
Yes.
Angle? Yeah, you depending, of course, when you sum up all this first angle plus the outer angle, it's supposed to come to 360. Does it help?
Yes.
Okay. Teacher Math, I guess we need to try and move.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Theo. Maybe we can have the learner's guide. Thank you. Thank you, girls, for your contributions. So looking at the next part there, we have the different polygons.
Teacher.
Yes, Charity. Yes, Charity. Charity, can you ask your question, please? Charity?
I was asking if you would explain the point of what scale to be used.
Okay. Teacher Joseph has just told you that depending on how you press your protractor. Joseph, would you want to explain to Charity?
Okay, teacher Theo, maybe let's go back to the other diagram we used the other time. Yes,
this
the second one. Yes. Now, if say, okay, first of all, it depends on how you press your contract. Okay, but if say you want to ease your work, if you want to measure the angle from this lower line, yes, that one, anti-clockwise, okay, you'll be using the inner scale because the inner scale runs from 0 anti-clockwise in that direction, okay? But if say you want to measure the angle from this upper line, yes, that one, then clockwise, you will use the outer scale because for it runs from 0 in clockwise direction with increasing angles. Hope that makes sense now. To Charity, let me hope so. Okay,
Charity,
teacher,
Charity, we need to practice how to use that protractor. Okay, you just need to know how to press it on the line depending on what you want to measure. I'm sure it's a skill.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Martha.
Yes, so we are looking at the polygons, and we know that a polygon is a closed figure with straight sides. And on your screen, you notice we have the different polygons. I request some of the girls to name for us those polygons.
Okay, Abigail, Akisa.
The first one is a triangle.
Okay, yes. Irabo Pal. Irabo Pal, Hannah.
The second is a square.
Okay. Can we hear from Nanyanzi? Osana?
I can see a hexagon.
And see a hexagon. Which one is that? Which color? Okay, tell us which color it's in. Nayanzi?
Pink.
Which color?
Pink. Pink.
Sorry? Pink. Can we hear from Luis? Wagara?
The green one is a pentagon.
Pentagon. Maybe as you tell us the shape, you can be your friends how many sides maybe that shape is having so that they try to connect dots.
Straight side.
Can I hear from
triangle, square, a hexagon? No, that's a pentagon.
Joseph?
Yes, please.
You can look for those people who are trying to disorganize the class.
Charity is becoming a problem.
You can't
I don't know.
them, eh? You can't keep their microphones. Can I hear from Namataka, Katrina?
The fifth one is a hexagon with 7 sides.
Which one? Which color?
Purple.
Purple. Can we have from
Teacher,
Deborah?
could you please repeat the one for purple? What was it?
Can you repeat the one for purple?
Hexagon.
Sorry?
Hexagon.
Can you speak up so that your friends can hear you?
Hexagon. Septagon.
Okay. Can I hear from Abbas, Jorin?
Pardon?
The yellow one is an octagon because it has 8 sides.
Okay. Charity, Sharon, Warube.
The ninth shape is a nonagon and it has 9 sides.
9 sides. Can I hear from Nagano Queen? Finally.
The last one is a decagon and it has 10 sides.
Okay, this is not new to most of us. So we expect you to count those sides and then you every, put down the name of the shape. Okay. Martha, I don't know if you can pick it from there.
Okay, thank you,
Martha.
Mr. Theo. Yes, Mr. Theo.
Yeah, pick it from there.
Okay, so thank you girls for identifying those polygons and the different sides that they have. So the next activity requires us to find the number of sides of different polygons, and we've done that, and their corresponding names. So we are also required to determine the number and size of interior and exterior angles of those regular polygons. So we'll begin with the number and size of the interior angles of those different polygons.
Do I go to the whiteboard?
Yes, maybe for easy illustration.
Okay. So how do we get the, but maybe we need to understand what an internal angle is and what an external angle is. We can hear from the girls before we demonstrate. Do they understand what those terms are?
Okay, let's get some views from the girls.
Okay, I can see some hands up. Can I hear from Nakato? Yvonne, Edith? Nakato? Nakato? Okay. Can I hear from Angela Ikiriza?
Internal angles are like, I think they're like angles that measure, that are less than 90 degrees. Then external angles are less than, are more than 90 degrees. Yeah, but less than 100.
Okay.
Teacher, I
so
can't hear you.
Would that be the class definition? Okay, assuming I had this. Let me try to I had this. I'm having two angles here. I have that, which is A, and then I have that, which is B. So I need someone to explain to me, maybe using this demonstration, to explain to the class using that demonstration. Can we hear from Nakato, Yvonne, you seem not to get through. I don't know if you can get through now, Nakato.
Excuse me, teacher. I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see anything. My whiteboard is not visible.
I think she has network issues, but it is visible.
It's visible.
Okay.
It's visible.
I guess she has a problem with her network. Eh? So can I hear from the rest? Can I hear from?
I can't see.
Try to log out, then log in back. Maybe we'll see.
It will disturb her, Martha. I think she has a problem with her network. Eh? Can I hear from Nakafero Eunice?
It's now visible. Thank you.
Yeah, it's your network.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, you're welcome. Can I hear from Eunice Nakafero?
Teacher, I wanted to explain things of interior and exterior angles.
Please go ahead.
For me, what I know about interior angles are angles that are found that are less than the 90 degrees or are 90 degrees inside a pentagon, and exterior angles are angles that are bigger than 90 degrees and are found outside the pentagon.
Found outside the pentagon. Okay. Someone to
and that's a
give us
pentagon, polygon.
Okay. Can I get another view? Can I hear from Emire? Mirembe? Emire? Mirembe? Mirembe? Okay, seems I can't get through to Mirembe. Can I hear from?
According to the diagram you've drawn, I think interior angles, which are...
Yes. Emire?
I think we have lost.
We've lost Emire. Can we pick another one?
Let's hear from Angela. Angela, please unmute.
Sorry, my hand I left my hand up.
I think Angela already contributed. Maybe let's hear from Pio. Grace? Pio? I think I've lost Pio. Yes?
I think interior angles are angles that add up to 90 degrees or less, while exterior angles are angles that add up to 180 degrees or more.
Really? Maybe we can get more views. Can I hear from Kayesu, Rona?
Yes. Teacher, according to the diagram you see, I think interior angles are smaller than exterior angles. So I think the smaller angle A is the interior angle, and then B is the exterior angle.
Okay.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Chirau.
I think exterior angles add up to 360 degrees.
Exterior angles add up to 360 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you realize that we all have different views and we need to harmonize. I don't know if my colleagues want to throw in a word on that. Martha and Joseph. Martha.
Okay, Mr. Theo, I think basically I want to ask one of the girls to give me maybe a corresponding answer to this. When we look at A, is it outside or inside?
It's inside.
So which angle does it qualify to be called?
Interior angle.
And then when we look at B, where is it, outside or inside?
Outside.
And then what does it qualify to be called?
Exterior angle.
Exterior angle.
Can I answer?
Yes, Martha, go on.
Okay, so basically that should be able to draw out the light on what an interior or exterior angle is. So looking at the sums, as we look at the different polygons, we shall find out how we can obtain the sums of those interior and exterior angles after identifying or understanding what an interior angle is or what an exterior angle is. So interior is always inside, and then exterior, we always find it outside. Unless, Mr. Theo, you want to say something, or Teacher Joseph?
It's okay. But Teacher Theo and Teacher Martha, I don't know whether we can spare the remaining five to go through the questions of the girls. Is that okay? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
I think it's okay.
Maybe we will. Yeah, but they have a task of going through this activity, and they try to work out this other exercise. I guess to make much more sense. Yeah, I guess we'll have to revisit this. It's also short like the previous topic because you realize that you're already on topic 9 just for today. Yeah, so I want to encourage the girls to try and go through topic 8, and they can raise their questions. They will meet along the way, maybe in the next class, which is on Friday. Yeah, it is not something new to them, I guess. They just need to do more research, and they should be able to find it easy. So Joseph, you're asking about the exercise which they were supposed to do last time?
Yes, I think we let's first take them back to the other topic. I think the last one.
That's on bearing.
Yes.
The last exercise, this one?
I think. Okay, let me first check my chat. Someone was asking about. Okay, I think she was Anna. Anna had issues. She wanted us to go through the collections of the previous activity, but she wasn't specific. Then we had Sandra. She was saying that scale drawing in bearing is confusing her. Maybe we need to throw some light. Then we had Favor. Favor was saying that she didn't understand how to find bearing of directions, e.g. the bearing of north, south, and then north 30 degrees east. Okay. I think those are the questions I had here.
Okay. So that's the exercise we are having. Not sure if you are going to go through the exercise. So this is what you are having. Someone was asking about finding the bearing of south, and then northeast, then north, then. So they were basically talking about number 1, right? These ones here.
Yes. Yes. Yes, please. Yes. I think so.
So assuming you're having this as your campus. Okay. And on that campus, you're having this as your north, having this as your east, then you're having this south, then west. So when they're saying you find the bearing of south, that bearing we measure it from the north, okay? So the bearing of south is moving that direction. And you can see that when you move from the north to south, it's basically a straight line, okay? So I would expect the bearing to be 180. Okay. Joseph, I'm seeing hands up. What their questions are, you can try to check with them.
Okay. We can have you can have Charity.
Charity.
Charity, please unmute. Okay, we can have Hope Chirabo.
Teacher, my question is about the exterior and interior angles. How do you find the interior angle sum and those things of number of sides? I'm still kind of bit confused about those questions. Yeah.
How do you find the what?
I just had a question about the interior and exterior angles. How do you find the interior angle sum, the number of sides? Yeah, those things.
Okay, there is a whole topic on that.